Good morning and welcome to the instructional handover video for this Swift Escape 604. I'm going to walk you around the outside of the vehicle first and then we'll move on to the inside of the vehicle. So we're based on a Fiat cab. It's on a 2.3 130 brake horse. The mirrors manually fold in, but then we'll electrically adjust both top and bottom mirrors from the switch inside. This one has the silver screens for the side windows and then an internal Remis blind for the front cab window. Behind the driver's seat we've got the mains plug-in point. Cable just goes in here, just like so, and it is clearly marked on the front of the flat. Behind that we've got the water filler point. Again, you've got markings to tell you both on the inside and the outside. Just use the key to undo that. That will allow you to fill up the fresh water. At the side of it is a 12 volt plug, so you can then plug in a portable pump to pump the water from a carrier into the freshwater tank. Now below, again clearly marked, you've got your freshwater drain. That's just here. Behind that you've got your wastewater drain, and that's grey. Now these are controlled by two electronic switches inside the vehicle, and I'll show you when I move on inside how you do that. Behind that we've got the fridge vents. You can buy winter covers for these, and we've got an external aerial point to connect up to a site aerial. Behind that we've got a storage locker, and this literally just locks using the buttons here and turning the key. Behind that we've got the gas locker, again clearly marked, and this will fit 2 gas bottles in there. We've got a regulator, and you'll need a pigtail to connect up to the bottles. We normally advise you to use propane, and then you'll need the propane pigtail to connect to the gas bottles. Underneath this we've got another storage area, and this is where your toilet cassette is. So to remove the toilet cassette you just lift up the handle, slide the unit towards you, and that will come out nice and easily. Now we've got a button on the top which allows the vacuum to be released, and we've got a little screw cap here which allows you to empty it. So you turn the neck around, lift it up, empty it out, clean it out, turn it back round, and then slide it back in so it just hooks over that little section there. You can use this for storage, but obviously you'll have to move items when you're moving the toilet, and the toilet cassette will only come out when the blade valve inside is fully closed. Again, I'll show you that when we move on inside the vehicle. Again, it will lock using the one key. On the rear we've got the bike rack. So this is a 3 bike rack, Thule one. So you can pull them down and put 3 bike mounted on there. And you've got the 3 arms that go on there. So pull it down, you've got the ties that release and tie around the wheels, the bars that are removable, just like that, to go on the 3 different bikes themselves. Push it back up if you're not using it and it will clip in place like so. Above that we've got a reversing camera, and that's high up on the top there. To the driver's side, behind or in front of the wheel we've got an external gas point, so that just goes in there and clips in. In front of that we've got the boiler vent, so be careful, this does get hot. And then forward of that we've got a mains 240 volt socket coming out of the vehicle, and again just tap it in and that will lock in place. We're also fitted on the roof with an Omnister awning, so I will send you a separate video for that, and you'll see just to the right as the doors were looking there's an awning light there which will turn on through the control panel. In front of the electrical socket we've got a diesel point, so it's no AdBlue on this particular vehicle, just normal diesel. Use your normal Fiat key to gain entrance into that. In here we've got a bonnet release catch, so pull that down and that will release the bonnet. Underneath the carpet is where you will find the engine battery, and there is a small toolkit that can be found under the passenger seat. To the front of the vehicle, now just in the middle above the Swift badge you'll find that there's a little metal lever here. This will release the bonnet to lift up. Under here then we've got positive point just underneath this cap here. We've got a negative point which is just on the top there. We've got our oil and a dipstick. and then your screen wash in the corner. Once you've finished with it, just gently release the bonnet down and that will close that area off. So that's the outside of the vehicle done. Let's move on inside. So again, you'll have a key that just goes into the door, which will allow you then to manually lock to the left or open to the right. Once open, pull the handle and that will give you access into it. There's a bin on the door there. And then we're also fitted with a full insect fly screen, just like so. Open it up and let's move on inside the vehicle. So above your door is where you'll find all your main items. So it also comes with a carbon monoxide detector and a smoke alarm. So please test these regular. We've got your heating controls, waste and water controls, thermostat to here, and then the main control panel. But what I'm going to tell you to do first is to turn the power on. So we'll do that by hitting that standby button and it will tell us on the control panel whether we're off or on. Yeah, depending on what you've left on previously, then different items will come on. But we've got lights in the vehicle and you see it'll illuminate at the side. So again, we've got some more lights. And again, we've got off and on with the lights. So these will turn off different lights in different areas. The bottom one is your pump. Yeah, now you only turn that on and it will come on here when you've got water in the system. So once you've filled up the water, then you can press the pump on. To empty the water, you'll empty the fresh water by pressing that down and the wastewater by pressing that down. You should hear the water coming out of the system, and on here we'll also have a water level which tells us where the different water functions are. You can see the fresh and the waste. Yeah, so to empty it, we'll leave it completely open as it is now, and then you should see the water coming out underneath the vehicle. Once you've drained it down to a desired level, if you wanted to stop it, then you'd just press that. And what you'll hear is the actual valves closing to close up that system. Yeah, so down is to open, up is to close. Now one thing, once you've filled up the water, you need to shut off the drain valve for the boiler. And this can be found underneath this seat here. So the boiler is found here. And what we need to do, first of all, is close the valve that's just hiding down there, the yellow valve. So it is vertical, not horizontal. Sorry, horizontal, not vertical. When it's down as it is at the minute, it will allow the boiler to fill up with water. If you are to flick it, up like that, that will empty all the water out of the boiler. Yeah, so up. So up is to drain and down is to fill up. And that is located underneath in that panel there. So once we've filled up the boiler, I'll shut off that valve and we know we've got water in the tank. What we'll need to do then is come over to the tap areas itself. Now on here, you'll need to prime it through the boiler. How do you do that? So you would turn on your tap to hot. Again, they're all clearly marked on the top. Lift up the tap and turn the pump on. Yeah. Once the pump's on, it will pull the water through the system. Yeah. To allow you all the air to come out the boiler. Once you've got it running steady, turn it off. Yeah. And that will have filled up that boiler underneath the seat there. At that point then, we will be able to then go to the heating controls for the hot water. Now to do this, it's always advisable that you turn it on when you're plugged into mains and you've got your gas on. If you haven't got your gas on, then what I would advise is you come straight across here first of all and put it onto electric. Yeah, and that's the source. But what we want to do first is turn the heating on. So the first control being a motorhome is the heating off or on. So turn the dial to the desired position, press the button. If it's reached temperature, it will stop flashing. If it hasn't, it will go until it reaches it. The next option along is the water heater. So if we don't want to do this, we'd leave it off. But if we want to do it, we'll turn it to Eco, which is 40 degrees approximately. Hot, which is 60 degrees. And Boost, which is a function that takes all the power away from the heating to get the hot water up to temperature as quick as possible. Now, if you're trying to do both at the same time, the heating and the hot water, you will have this on hot, and later on the fan, you will have that on high. But for this demo purposes, I'm going to turn it off because I've just emptied the water out of the system. The next function along is the source of power. So again, always make sure you're plugged into mains or gas and turn it on to the desired setting before you turn or the system gets running. Otherwise, it will come up with a fault light. You change this by turning the wheel. And we have electric 2 kilowatts, electric 1 kilowatt. A mixture of gas and 2 kilowatt electric, mixture of gas and 1 kilowatt electric, or gas only. So choose the desired one. So on this one, EL1, you'll see it'll appear above the line. The next one along is the fan. And we can either have it on Eco, which is slow, high, which is fast, or once you've selected high and the fan's kicked in, after a few minutes, you'll be able to go back into that and select Boost. Boost, like the water, will take the power away from the water to get the heating up to temperature. It will only do one or the other, will the Boost function. We've also got an indicator to tell us that we are plugged into mains on here. The bottom section is the timer, the time, and then the settings. One key thing, before you leave in the vehicle and you pull off your mains cable out of the hook and turn off your gas, turn that unit off. So press and hold it and turn it off. That will save on any unnecessary fault codes coming up on the vehicle itself. Yeah, so that's your heating. Back to your control panel, you'll see on here that there are different options that you can go along. So the down button will take you through the options. So selecting batteries, so leisure batteries, vehicle batteries. Again, always try and select the leisure battery where you can. Tank heaters, so you've got tank heaters on and off. You've got, that's just an AC limit. Internal temperatures, dimmer settings for the lights, heater settings, system settings, and your sergeant control panel. So navigating around will take you through the different options. If you want to enter into it, you press it and then that will give you a different option for that particular option there. Okay, once you've finished, it will just go back to the main control panel setting. Yeah. And it will just have your voltage on there. You can see that there's also a mains plug-in point to tell us that we're plugged into mains there and that the leisure battery is selected. In the cupboard above the fridge, you've got storage and all your handbooks. So this is where you will find all your handbooks. The fridge itself will open by pulling the handle. And then that will show the control panels. So to turn it on, press and hold, and it will light up the panel. So we've got a few functions here. Yeah. And to navigate it along, you'll press this button here. Yeah. And it will either select gas, mains electric, automatic, or battery. Battery will only run when the engine's running. The gas will only work when the gas is turned on. And the mains power will only work when you're plugged into mains. If you select automatic, it will select the actual source that you require on that particular unit. Yeah. To turn the temperature up or down, just press the button there. And you'll see that it does light up nicely. Just there. Yeah, you've got shelves and storage and belongings in there. And your freezer compartment just in there. Yeah. To turn it off, just press and hold. And then the lights will go off. There you go. And the lights will go off the fridge unit. So that's how you turn off the fridge. Below that, we've got some isolation points. Just there. So they're a little sticker telling you which is the open and which is the closed position. Next to the fridge, we've got two holding compartments, and this is for the big table. So the big table's set up just here now, and it connects by sliding in, and there's a butterfly clip on that to make it bigger. Yeah, when it's housed away, it will go into that compartment just here. Turning it upside down, you've got a butterfly clip, so just release that, and then the unit will pull apart to stow away. It's a little fiddly to get in, but they will close on the turnbuckles and then go into there nice and neatly. Press the button in to close that up. Behind that, we've got the wardrobe area, and in here we've got the TV aerial. To operate that, you just release the collar at the top, and that will allow you to push it up and down to get a better signal. You've also got the booster box at the back, just there, and there is an external cover that comes with the vehicle. There's a place for your drainer to go there as well, and then we've got some more storage in the lower positions just there. We've got a light switch in here that turns on your bathroom light, and into the bathroom we've got a mixer tap again there, so when you're pulling it through on the kitchen to the hot, pull it through there as well. Push button will give you plenty of storage in there, and then we've also got storage here. This is where the spindle for the leg is housed for the table, and we've got a hanging rail just there. The toilet cassette, I mentioned about the blade valve at the beginning of the video. This is the valve inside here. We've got the flush button and the toilet full indicator, and the slide valve on the front can just be located here. To open it up, pull it towards the back of the vehicle, and that will open the blade valve in the top. To close it, pull it towards the front of the vehicle, like so. We've got a toilet roll holder and the fly screen and blind just on there. Now it does open. To open it, you'll need to do that, but just make sure that the bike rack is down before you're doing that. Shower area has a turnbuckle to hold in the rail just there, a shower head, and again a clearly marked mixer tap. Yeah. The door itself will just click in and lock in place there. Got a couple of plug sockets just up there, and then above in here we've got some drinks and plate holders. We've got a microwave. Now this will only work on mains electric, so just be careful of that. And then we've got the gas cooking area here, which is our 3-burner hob. 1, 2, 3 as it marks on the top here. And then we've got the oven grill function, which is this one here. An igniter which will ignite all of them. So just remember that just there. If you're using the grill, just leave that ajar. Obviously you'll be using the oven. You can fully close it. Underneath that we've got the grill pan. And we've got some additional storage just down there for you as well. The heating can be proportioned around, so you can move some of these flaps to send it to different locations. We've got the awning pole just there and a fire extinguisher for you as well. Now I've left this up in the middle for the purpose of, you do have a smaller table that can just go on there as sort of your sort of picnic stopover table, and that will just go into there. When you remove that, they just store away into the back locker area. So with that removed, you'll see it gives us a nice bright area. We've got 2 travelling seat belts on this side, and then above it we've got your TV point. You've got some sockets, 12-volt mains and aerial sockets just up there. One little tip you'll need to do is you'll need to remove these little tags off the bed to allow it to come down. Now there's a couple of these on the actual bed to help, just holding it up, one there and one just in the corner. You'll not remove this without removing them little clips. The bed won't be able to come down. In the bed itself, you've got some storage pockets that can just be found there. We've got another storage pocket around the front. We've got an opening roof light with a fly screen and a blind on that as well. And in here, we've got the solar panel charger. So this is the dual battery regulator for the solar panel that's fitted to the vehicle. We've also got these little reading lights, so you just turn them on and off just with the switches there. These are the screens that I showed you earlier. We've got a reverse camera screen there. We've got the manual gearbox, the radio, Bluetooth, locking buttons, aircon, passenger airbag, drinks compartment, speed limiter and cruise control, indicator and lights. And on the opposite side here, you've got your windscreen wipers and your trip counter. I mentioned in the video at the beginning, you got your mirror switch, which is the top round one, and then your electric window switches just there. The blinds on the front just pinch together, slide across, and then magnetise in the middle. And then when you finish, just pop them back in place nice and neat there. The bottom area can make into another bed. I'm going to show you how to do that step by step. First of all, let's remove the cushions. So now we've removed the cushions, you'll see that it leaves this section. So this is hinged, so when your passengers are travelling, then you can fold that back so that they got leg room. When you want to make it into a bed, you'll need to fold that over. So first part onto there, then your second part, just move the carpet out of the way, will then slide all the way across, and then that will fold over. That one then slides back, and that will help you formulate the base of the bed. And then that's how you'll make up the bed underneath. So if I deconstruct it, you've got the back of seat cushion there. You've got the infill cushion, which goes there. The base of the table makes up the bed. And then you've got the two smaller back cushions that formulate there. You'll end up with one spare cushion, but that's how it will formulate. And it's the base of the table that you use as the base there, that simply just sits onto the little sections just here and onto the edge of the rail on the bed on that side. So before we put everything back, underneath here on this lift up panel is your main RCD box. So we've got the main master shutdown button here, so that will turn off all the power to the vehicle. To the left, we've got your fuses. To the right, we've got the main trip switch. So one thing to check here, if you don't think you're getting mains power to it, press the little yellow button. And if you're hooked up to mains like you are, that little blue button should trip back down. If it does, just select it there. You have also got individual isolators for the heating and the hot water on electric, the charger, and then a button to tell you about reverse polarity. You've also got a system shutdown, so which you press and it will push up, that will turn it off, press it down and that will go back on. Sometimes with these Sargent systems, then you'll also just need to just press that on if it does go into a sleep mode. Just resets everything and gets it working again. You have got a list on here of what the fuses and the mains RCDs work. So that is located underneath that section just there. Okay. So lastly, we've got the bed. Now once we've released the catches I mentioned earlier, what you'll need to do with this bed is you'll need to press this button in. But to get the button pressed in, you'll need to just push in the middle to just release it. Yeah. Once you've pressed it, it will then come down like so. And that will come down. So the curtains at the side, you've got your safety nets on the front and the back side. You've got a little light that's now visible up there. And then to gain access to it, we've got the ladder, which will just hook in place here on either side. And then turn the turnbuckles down. That's so that once you're getting up onto the bed, the weight of the bed, then you're able to just, the ladders won't fall off. If I move back then, you'll see that you've got access from the floor up to the bed area. Generally head at the top, feet at the bottom, because that's the bigger angle, and that's where your lights also shows. You've got a blind and a fly screen and an opening window there. And the same just above my head here. To open these up, you just squeeze it and lift it up. And then that's got a blind and a fly screen on there too. The one in the bathroom is slightly different. This is a midi-ecker. So you press the button down, slide it up, and that opens up. And on that, we've got a fly screen just on there for you. So to push it back up, you can leave your bedding on there. If your pillars are really big, use a little alcoves either side at the front. But you can leave that on and your ladders on. just gently pop it back up, and then you need to press the button in and then use your other hand to press it up. And then once we're back up, you'll see then that we're all ready for our onward travels. The blind here works by pulling that down and up, and then on this side the same way. To release the windows, just press the buttons in, twist and turn. That one doesn't open that window, but these ones do, and you press that in and twist it, press the buttons in, and then it will gently up and it will catch in place all the way up. We'll then release it down and then just pull it, pressing the button in, will then lock it in place. Make sure you press them buttons in, so if you do then break them handles and catches if you don't press them buttons in, and then you're ready. So one final thing to show you is in the kitchen area, you've got the little lift up section. To get it down, you've got to lift both of them off, like so, and then that will close that down flat against it. On leaving the vehicle, turn off the main power. That will turn off the lights around the vehicle. You just unhook and then start with your onward journey. I hope you find the instructional video useful. Please like and subscribe our YouTube channel. Most importantly, we hope you enjoy your new motorhome. Thank you.